Now, the government has announced a £120 million aid package for Sudan. The Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, hosted senior representatives from the African Union and also the European Union nations at a summit earlier, where they discussed the new funding for a country that's war has displaced millions and seen tens of thousands killed. Mr. Lammy has said that Sudan's stability is vital for our national security, but is that true? Well, we can speak now with the investigations campaign manager at the Taxpayers Alliance, Joanna Marchong. Joanna, welcome to the show. Is it true that Sudan's national security is vital to Britain's national security?
Thanks for having me on, Martin. I think I should start by saying that the crisis in Sudan has been going on for about 2 years now. It's just marked their 2-year anniversary. They've experienced one of the worst crises to be recorded on record, apparently, and also tens of thousands have died, millions displaced, all the rest of it. Foreign aid definitely should be spent, being given to vulnerable people who especially need our help. I think the main crux of this and this story is that the devil is in the detail, and we need to make sure that it's going to the correct places. And there's so many times in the past where we've just wasted money and we haven't realised where this foreign aid is going to.
Yeah, because Joanna, we had a guest on earlier who worked for the United Nations in Uganda, and she detailed how there's huge amounts of evidence that this aid money often goes into the pockets of those in charge. It goes onto admin, it goes onto the staff on the ground, and only a small percentile of that money can actually get into the hands of the needy. Then there's the issue of, is there any proof that if we send countless millions to Sudan, actually, it will stem the flow of people coming to the country, as Sudanese seems to be making their way to Britain in big numbers already?
Yeah, you're exactly right with that point. So if you look at past examples as well, there are many. Somalia, when they were in crisis, they're still they're still regarded as one of the top worst countries for corruption. We gave them hundreds of millions, and we actually found that it was benefiting terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab, and that was due to our poor oversight. We funded a British health project that paid ghost workers and gave money to police forces and units that were actually accused of extrajudicial killings. So that's one example. You have the Republic of Congo, who we sent billions to, and actually then we found out that over 21 million had gone missing from one individual project. So we built up a record of so many times where we've jumped in because it's the right thing to do when people are in crisis and there's vulnerable people. We want to give them water, shelter, food. We want to help their country. But in fact, we're not really doing as much good. And these aren't small figures we're talking about. So, for example, David Lammy just announced 120 million. But last year, we said we were giving 113 million over to Sudan to help. And that was for the last financial year. We also said we're going to give an extra 15 billion just designated for people that have been displaced and fleeing Sudan. So there's a lot of money here at stake. And I think we need to learn from our past failed attempts of helping other countries and actually put our money where our mouth is and get some strong objectives and some key, project indicators and goals.
And I wonder, actually, if therein lies the rub, Joanna. Is that possible? Now, we can all agree that where there is desperate need, we should be helping the world's neediest. But if we cannot guarantee that money is actually serving that purpose, and if instead the money is being siphoned off, then is the whole venture just a flawed project?
Yeah, well, this is exactly the problem, where because we've not only handled countries in crisis wrong, we've also handled our foreign aid budget wrong. So the TPA had revealed a few weeks ago, actually, that £99 million alone was spent on a research project to develop or to teach Kenyans and other parts of Africa and Asia families how to use air fryers and electrical units to cook instead of them using log fires and traditional wood burners, because that was bad for the environment. When we put that massive amount of money next to something like our foreign aid to go towards an actual crisis, we begin thinking, what are we actually using this money for? And is all the money in the budget actually going towards something worthwhile from its beginning to its end?
It's astonishing to hear that foreign aid money is being spent on air fryers. I thought I'd heard it all, Joanna.
No, and that's just one that comes to mind now. I mean, we spent 55,000 on a new fleet of electronic Porsches for Albanian prisons, 9 million on a project that was essentially called Ethiopian Spice Girls. The list continues. So there's a problem not only in how we're trying to help in the middle, even if our intentions are good, but it's also these small scale projects and research projects coming from this foreign aid budget that's at fault as well.
Incredible. You know, I think that many people watching this would quite like a Porsche or an air fryer, or dare I say, a performance from a girl band. Not a bad life, is it? But instead, we're up to our armpits in bin bags in Birmingham. Fascinating. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. That's the Investigations Campaign Manager at the Taxpayers Alliance, Joanna Marchong. Thank you very much for your company. Can you believe that? Wow.